Well, we've been speaking about the Bharat opportunity here on Mad About Markets, and who better to speak to than advertising veteran and executive chairman of Ogilvy India, Piyush Pandey, who spoke to us about the growth potential beyond India's metro cities. Here's what he had to say.
You know, you've always been a Bharat person as against an India person. What is happening now that everyone's talking about Bharat? What is it that, has suddenly happened?
I think the basic thing is what they call Bharat. To me, all of it is Bharat. The exposure is increasing in those places. The ability to buy, largely because of digital, is increasing there. The markets, if you look at numbers, they lie there. So I think that's the basic thing, that part of India which was not exposed to a lot is being exposed.
What should brands do or companies do differently, or should they do anything differently to reach out to those people as well?
I think reaching out is a matter of availability, affordability, if they want to do any discounting of some kind or whatever, if at all. But reachability. See, in terms of advertising and communication, they would be stupid to try and do two kinds of communication. For years, I've been involved with Fevicol. We never did two kinds of advertising. There's no need to, what will you do? I think what people do for metros and for class 1 towns or whatever, what we see on TV, I saw a lot of it on IPL this year, is ultimate crap.
But what would you say, how is the communication different? Ideal situation is you don't have to make, separate ads for the metros and for people in tier 2 and beyond.
See, when they talk metros and tier 1 and tier 2, one tier is overlapping always.
Got it.
मैं जयपुर में जाऊंगा अगर अभी, so there'll be many Jaipurs that I know of. And if I go to Bombay, there'll be many Bombays that we know of. So what you do largely for a tier 2 or whatever is applicable for Bombay's tier 2. The tier 2 exposure and things may differ a little bit, but mentality doesn't.
So what you're saying is that every city is a microcosm of India itself?
Yes, absolutely.
What, according to you, are the challenges of penetrating into Bharat? What are the pitfalls that companies may face while doing that?
First of all, they lose a lot of money. And they will have to have a system where not only the marketer, but their communications team understands that market. Understanding a market is not possible by sitting in air-conditioned rooms in Bombay. So, I think our mindset of looking down at them has to change, because they're as good as you. They're coming up financially to match you, and they're exposed to the same media.
What was it that kept a lot of brands away from these cities that they're starting to expand into only now?
They have to grow.
So they've saturated the metros.
Otherwise, in your program, they'll be killed by experts. Where is the growth?
So basically, the next leg of growth comes
to go
from
where
there.
The growth is.
Yeah. Have you seen that? Have you seen companies come to you and allocate a lot more budget towards spending in the tier 2 and beyond, reaching those places as against the metros, which are probably on autopilot already?
Yeah, which are already on autopilot, and it's not a question of much more.
Okay.
Because metros means larger this thing, so much more will still be there, but targeted.
Yes.
And if we take the proportion of the targeted, then it will become much more.
We can't let you go without a line on India versus Bharat. You have to give it to us.
See, it's like saying Sachin versus Tendulkar.
One and the same.
It's one and the same.
We're back in Mad About Market City in our studio-generated skyscraper, discussing the Bharat opportunity.
And as always, we're going to weigh the pros and the cons, so you start with the yays.
The yays, the biggest one is that, Bharat has a higher propensity to consume. We can see it in the growth rates.
Well, you can see it in the growth rate, but what that doesn't tell you is that it's coming on a low base. So take it with a pinch of salt.
We take it with a pinch of salt, but, it's also easier for already established brands in India to penetrate into Bharat. That's a big yay.
But, while we talk about this growth, there's a lot of inequality in income as well, so not everybody is spending at the same rate.
There is, but metros are now saturated, and that opens up another opportunities for these brands.
When these brands go there, they also have to compete with a lot more local, unorganized players the further down tier 2, tier 3 cities they go.
The good part is it costs them a lot less to compete with these guys in tier 2 plus towns. I mean, rents are so much lower.
What's also lower is the spend per capita, so don't expect the same amount of growth that you would in a metro city.
But the rate of growth would again be much higher because of the infra and economic opportunities.
But there's always the risk of inadequate pace of growth, so you factor all of those in when we talk about the Bharat opportunity.
Well, those were the opportunities and challenges of Bharat and India. But, the bigger question, that's what we always focus on. Is it Bharat's time to make India shine? Who better than Mr. Mal to come back and tell us about it?
If you could join us back in the studio to answer this question.
I mean,
what will it take to get Bharat to make India shine? Are there challenges along the way?
There are challenges along the way for everyone.
Yeah.
I think what it will take first is everyone's belief that this is actually a billion-dollar question which all of us need to push towards an answer. I think the distribution systems need to, if you want to sell more, if you want to reach more people, the pipes have to become bigger and richer and modernized. I think that's a thing we all need to solve for, distribution on the belief that your old distribution system was good enough to carry necessities. If they have to carry aspirations, much larger choice, then the theatre of choice has to travel all through from India to Bharat seamlessly. Today, modern retail like us, we are doing these small flyovers, which land aspirational products into smaller towns. But I think if you have to make it mainstream, and it'll work.
Well, that's a wonderful analogy, Mangalam. On that note,
yes, we'll wrap up, traveling necessities first and now aspirations. On that note, we'll wrap up on this edition of Mad About Markets. Thank you so much for watching.